The Godfather by Brothers Grimm. Brought to you by TellStory.net, stories from around the world. There was once a poor man who had so many children that he had already asked everyone he knew to stand godfather to one child or another. Then another child was born, and there was no one left whom he could ask. In his sorrow he lay down and slept. While he slept, he had a dream. He was told to go outside the gate and ask the first person he met. When he woke, he did as the dream had said. He went outside the gate and asked the first stranger who came along to be godfather to his child. The stranger agreed and gave him a little bottle of water. The stranger spoke quietly as he handed over the bottle.
This is a healing water. When you are called to a sick person, look carefully to see where death is standing. If death stands by the head of the bed, give the patient some of this water, and the sick person will recover. If death stands by the feet, then do nothing, because the person must die.
The poor man kept the bottle safely, and from that day on he could tell who might be saved and who could not. Whenever death stood by a sick person's head, he used the water and the patient grew well again. When death stood at the feet, he stepped away and said nothing. Because of this, he became a famous doctor. People came to him from near and far, and he earned a great deal of money. At last he was called to the king's child. The first time he entered the room, death stood by the child's head, and he healed the child at once. A second time the same thing happened, and the child was saved once more. But the third time death stood by the feet, and the child had to die. After that, the doctor wanted to visit his godfather and tell him what had happened with the water. He went to the house and climbed the stairs, and on every floor there was something strange to see. On the first flight, a dustpan and a broom were fighting and striking one another. He asked where the godfather lived, and the broom told him to go up one more flight. On the second flight he found a heap of what looked like dead fingers. He asked again, and one of the fingers told him to keep going. On the third flight there lay a pile of what looked like dead men's heads, and they sent him still higher. On the fourth flight he saw fish frying in a pan, and the fish told him to climb one more flight. At the top he came to a door and peeped through the keyhole. There he saw his godfather in the room, and his godfather had long horns. When the doctor opened the door and went in, the godfather quickly got into bed and covered himself up. The doctor told him about the strange things he had seen below. He laughed.
Oh, how silly you are. The dustpan and broom were the servant boy and the maid talking together. The dead fingers were roots of scorzonera. The dead men's heads were heads of cabbage.
Just then, the fish in the pan had cooked themselves and has come to serve themselves up.
But the horns? I deny that flatly.
The doctor was frightened then. He ran from the house as fast as he could, and if he had stayed, who knows what his godfather might have done.